Okay, here we go. We are online. I don't know if anybody else streams and experiences this. I think it's pretty natural. It would also be a similar experience if you started a job or did anything brand new or you're waiting to do something. I bet you like sports events are like that for athletes. But God, it's like waiting to start the stream. You get the stress levels go up. So I decided on a nice dopamine kick. A dopamine kick, I would believe, would be much more substantial to the brain by jogging. I know a lot of people say, I'm doom scrolling for that dopamine. The actual release of dopamine scrolling through social media, does it really? Honestly, the chemical amount, like in the dose or the levels, does that really equal the amount of running? I have a hard time believing that. Because when you jog, you'll get uh, a certain feeling from the jogging that feels way more. It almost feels like anti dopamine when you're like zombie eyed staring at the phone screen and looking at the brain rot. So got a good dopamine dose. Actually, there is a segue here because it's health. And what's a better way to stay in shape and to lose weight if you're interested in losing weight than like exercise? Now, yeah, I noticed Wesker. It did like a time passing on the screen, so I was pretty sure that it did. Speaking of like exercise, like it keep you in shape, keeps you healthy, keeps you cardiovascular, doing well. There's I know Joe Rogan is very controversial, but he does have a lot of value when it comes to talking to people that are in the sciences. I am gonna space her name. I actually want to find her name though. Nutritionist, because she is a great source. Is that it? Sean Baker? No, not Sean Baker. Speaking of Baker, we're going to be going to the Baker household a little bit later in some Resident Evil 7. Oh my god, it's so funny. I put in Joe Rogan nutritionist, and I'm really surprised that there she is. Rhonda Patch. This is Patrick. Is this Joe Rogan? No, this is Patrick. Um, she is full of good information. Okay, so like, there's actual science out there for like dietary stuff that is like really good. Now, the stuff I couldn't get over this. You ever have something own your brain rent free? Okay. Um. Oh yeah. That's where I was going with Rhonda Patrick. She was stating during one of her interviews, Joe Rogan nutty putty, huh? That's a Peanut the squirrel. I'm gonna my ADHD just kicked in hardcore. Joe Rogan nutty putty, dude. Uh oh, let's see. Chat's being weird. She was talking about how the if you do regular exercise, let's just say 5 times a week, an hour and a half a day. And I know that sounds like a lot to people, but if you work up to it, it's really not that bad. Your heart ages like it looks like it's 20 years 20 years younger. So there's a lot of good information out there to like for being healthy. You know, it's kind of stuff. She knows a lot of the detail and the scientific research for it. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of it is kind of common sense. Like eat healthy foods. We, I hope we know what healthy foods are. I'm starting to doubt that people know what healthy foods are. And exercise. The problem is that stuff is so tough for people to get into. You know what I mean? Like we're running for an hour a day is tough to motivate. Now, drinking warm water, I seriously here, it's like this is like this is like budget snake oil. Like why even sell the snake oil when you could just tell the person to put the H lettered faucet on versus the C lettered faucet on? Drinking warm water to lose weight, because that's all it takes, people, is to move the left faucet versus the right faucet. Okay. Okay, the only thing about this is this stuff going to get flagged? Maybe I should like go for an article. I don't want to sit here and completely rip into something without fully. That's a question. Wesker, what do you think about that? Because, dude, I know, like, are they highly protective of guarding their BS? Like, yeah, that's what happens when you drink a glass of warm water. It becomes like popping a balloon. Suddenly your fat just, you see that too? The visual aid that they give you. Big, like, uh, like Danny DeVito shaped outline of a body, right? And then, or drink that warm water, it's like popping a balloon. Now you're like Batman shaped. Now you remember the I feel like I could get flagged if I go to these guys' actual videos and respond to it, because they're not gonna want that kind of exposure. But like real quick, Danny DeVito penguin glass of ice water. See, I'm gonna show you where this guy got it wrong, man. I'm gonna show you where this guy got it wrong. Because he should have been going for the warm water, right? Am I right or am I right? See, you see Danny
So you
DeVito,
think
and
you know Wix, but do you really?
This ain't, you know,
First up, we've got Shake.
this ain't a surprise to anybody, right? Like Danny DeVito ain't, you know, got that Arnold physique. So, oh yeah, he'll kill a man bat. Well, I shouldn't say man bat. Man bat's an actual character who's a humanoid bat. So he'll kill himself, a rich billionaire playboy. But before he goes all Luigi on you, he needs He needs a nice cold drink of ice water. Do you see? Look at this dude. He's drinking the ice water, guys. He ain't drinking that warm water. So his physique here, his health. Look at this man. It's not based off of activity, how much you exercise. You getting your vitamin D, your vitamin B1, your vitamin B2, your vitamin B3, your vitamin A. You're getting your niacin, you're getting your thurmanin, you're getting your phytodomonacols. No. It's not based on that. He's so sprung on the cold water. He's been drinking cold water. Cold. Look at the emphasis there. He needs that cold drink of ice water. Do you see where this guy's coming from? If he was drinking that warm water, he would have a physique he would have a Bane-esque physique. Oh, dude. What? Well, maybe it's like in a continuum, right? Maybe it's in a continuum. Like you drink the super ice cold water, and you're like Danny DeVito's penguin. Maybe like room temperature, you're kind of like Jim Carrey's Riddler, where you're still thin. It doesn't make you look as grotesque as this dude, but you're not Bane. Bane, dude. That dude. You know how people I was reading Arnold Schwarzenegger's autobiography, Total Recall. Okay, we're talking eggs, 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 protein shake, protein shake, protein shake, vitamins, 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 protein shake, protein shake, protein shake. Okay. Dude, all the Bane needed was one glass of warm water to train the same way. Man, Arnold is missing out. So, it's the continuum of the temperature of your water. As we saw from those video thumbnails, man, you drink that warm water, man. If this water, all someone needed to do right now is give this guy a glass of warm water. And suddenly, dude, it would have been, speaking of Batman characters, the Lazarus pool, which, by the way, is warm. I promise on a stack of Batman Silver Age comic books that the Lazarus pool is warm. If this stuff had been warm, dude, it would have been like Lazarus pool. He would have been putting the whoop on Michael Keaton's Batman. Especially Michael Keaton's Batman, because if you want to hear Sylvester Stallone's opinion, it all went downhill from Michael Keaton's Batman when it came to physique and being all tough and buff. And do you even lift, bro? He said after the Batman movies, all you had to do was wear a suit with muscles on it, and you didn't have to go to the gym 8 hours a day and drink a warm glass of water. Okay? So this we see, we'll reiterate, because listen, this is true among the ages. Everyone with a slight modicum. Well, I better watch out the fingers around the camera because it's going to blur out on me again. Everybody knows this is true. You repeat it, and then it gets filed into your brain permanently after repeating stuff. Yeah, next time, listen. Look at his face. Listen to his words. The next time you go to the sink, well, some places, I'm being geographically biased because some places like Phoenix, some places you ain't drinking the water. I heard there's some place, man, you start growing a third eye. They put chemicals in the water to turn the frogs gay in some places. So maybe I'm being biased. Next time you go in for the water, say you got extended family or something, they put the water in the refrigerator. Okay? I do not want you to get into the refrigerator and grab that water out of the fridge and start drinking it, dude. Look at it, dude. Real careful. I'm going to cowbell this. I'm doing it. I don't care if I'm killing the joke, because I'm not killing the joke, because it ain't no joke. Kind of like the Killing Joke, more Batman references. Joker, it's up for debate. Is he drinking the cold water? Is he drinking the warm water? Is he drinking the drink of ice water? You better take that bottle of water, put it on the counter, and you better wait a few hours. Then you could drink your water. Then you're gonna be like Bane. That's where I want you guys at. Spider sense tingling. This, not that it's a joke, but I feel like if it theoretically was a joke, kind of like OJ, if I had murdered them, if this was a joke, It's getting a little long in the tooth. A little long in the tooth, just like Man Bat from Batman. All right, let's segue. Let's segue. We're gonna keep the warm water on. I feel like if I keep the drinking warm water proverbial snake oil content going, I feel like is it gonna be like David Foster Wallace? You're reading a David Foster Wallace book, and this guy, dude, someone could be playing a tennis match, and it's 80 pages of super hyper detail of every muscle movement they made in the tennis match, and then somehow it's related as a metaphor for living in general, as life as a biological specimen. Like, how far the warm water well are we going to dive into? Are we going to just get thrown into that warm water well? Are we going to do this for are we going to do this like the stream wide? That is up for discussion. Well, dude, look. I think the answer is on the screen. It is pertinent that you guys know, according to all the BS floating around on the internet. It ain't good, man. It ain't good to be drinking that cold water. You got to be drinking warm water. I mean, you could probably do nothing else. Exercise. You know, okay. Well, I'm just gonna drop the facade here for a minute. I'm gonna get serious. If any of you are out here and you saw one of their thumbnails about drinking the warm water, and you don't benefit maybe from an education, or people didn't teach you scientific uh, research methods, that's not to be pretentious, man. You either know how many inches are in a foot, or you don't, man. You either know what 10 meters looks like, or you don't. It's actually, you know, or you don't know. It's not a diss to not know. You just should educate yourself. If you're not educated and you're watching this video, I'm hoping, I want to make a video with, does the warm water kill your belly fat? And then we saw a hyperbolic picture of the balloon man turning into Thin Man, the 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 horror icon Thin Man from the Blob from X-Men, the villain. We saw that. Does it happen? I'm telling you guys, dude. I know you don't want to hear this, but you need to go running. You need to go running. You need to eat right. I know. I know that you want the chalupa today. I really do. Well, these days, if you do it through DoorDash, and the way that our standard of living is going to be, you got to pay 4 easy payments for your chalupa. Actually, I'm going to tie this in here. Eating out, which makes you look like this sometimes. Eating out, guys, you're going to go to debtor's prison by the time it's 2040. They're going to get you on debt payments for your chalupa. Is literally, they're having it where you can make 4 payments for your lunch. That's the standard of living in this country. I don't want to see you in debtor's prison working off your chalupa money. You know, it's actually, people don't understand this. People don't understand this. It is actually, yeah, we don't need that. Look at this and think about eating chalupas every day and being in debt for having lunch because it's 2020s. People don't understand. They say, well, it's expensive to eat healthy. Well, it's expensive to eat healthy if you're like getting like exotic vegetables and stuff. Go down to your local grocery. I was going to say grosh. Sometimes if you just abbreviate a word and like say like grosh, it's almost kind of like seems like try hard cool, like it's gross. And speaking of gross, you're gonna have to get over a little bit of gross. Like you can cook it up good. But lentils, go look at the lentils, man. I gotta make 4 payments for my $1 cheese, dude. Back in it, listen, Wesker. You want to know something? 90s. You go up to a soda machine, brand name soda machine. You go up to that Coca-Cola, that refreshing uh diabetes in a can. 1 quarter, dude. 1 quarter, and you weren't in debt. You didn't have some weird financial, what do they call it? Let's get fancy, guys. Let's call it fintech, man. Now it's not just scammer tech bros, it's fintech. Watch this. Fintech, what's it? Not Uber Eats, DoorDash. Why do I have Uber Eats in my head there? Probably because I was looking up Uber Eats, their business model, a few years ago, which is basically lose a bunch of money till they take over the market, and then make the price so skyrocketed, no one can afford it, but now they depend on it. Okay, it's the fintech. You got the, like, way before the fintech stuff. You put a quarter into the machine and you got yourself a soda, dude. What? 25 cents. These days, you're on a payment plan for your cheese roll up at Taco Bell from DoorDash for 4 easy payments of 25 cents. Because you're probably making, you know, X amount of money, and your rent is probably adjusted for inflation, like renting for 4 people today. How to DoorDash. Let me see. Let's look up DoorDash. Oh, it's a bunch of tips and tricks. How to become a, a equivalent of an indentured servant. Okay, is this that? Why is it not giving me like news, dude? Why is it all tips and tricks about how to work here? Like it must be like the congestion of all the traffic of people wanting to work there. Oh my god, dude! Look, guys, I put in DoorDash, and speak of the devil, I referred to him earlier. You got Jim Carrey here. That's room temperature water, by the way, dude. Is it really $2? I haven't got a soda from a machine in years. It's literally, look, dude. This here on the left, she's warm water. Okay, she's the better angels of our existence. On his left over here is a nice tall glass of ice water. It's all symbolized here in Batman, dude. The whole series that Bob Kane created is all subtext for drinking warm water and getting in shape, and the the damaging effects of not drinking warm water. Okay. Yeah, you know what's weird, Wesker? I was gonna look up the news. Maybe if I did news, DoorDash partnership, but I got a bunch of like DoorDash tips and tricks. Oh, here we go. Oh, See, I'm so paranoid if I like watch this that it's gonna get stricken, right? I'm actually interested in what this lady says though. I wonder if there's like you're gonna ask them permission ahead of time, but I don't sit here and wanna I'm not gonna sit here and talk about DoorDash like every day. I just think let's just distill this. Let's just distill this. If you would have told people 30 years ago you're going to get on payment plans for Tuesday's lunch, okay? Oh, I got a down payment on a car. Oh, my house has a mortgage. Oh, we should call it. I got some debt of calorie, man. I got my third payment on last week's taco. Like it's seriously that is crazy. If you would have told people that 20, 30 years ago, you'd be making payments on your lunch. Making payments on your lunch. Well, back in the day we had two cars in the garage. Well, we're living pretty nice today, man. I got two lunches in the fridge. With my down payments. Okay, let's see. What can we do about it, huh? That's the way the cookie crumbles. Speaking of cookie, I hope you're interested in 4 down payments on your cookie crumbling. That's the way the cookie gets in debt. Oh my God. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You see, I very much so. Like they showed Two Face, and they had the yeah. Let's get actually. I want to get back there. Thank you. You gotta make your own dinners. You're gonna be healthier, you're gonna be happier, and you're gonna save some money. Well, check this out. I'm a big fan of lentils. Oh god, this is gonna be boring stream, huh? Eat your lentils because it's price efficient and it's got high in potassium and fiber and low in fat. Should should I really go down this road? Wesker, are you there? Should I drop knowledge at the cost of being entertaining? I do want to finish a thought about this thumbnail here. So very much like Two Face, where it had the angel symbolism from the one female that looked kind of like Drew Barrymore, and then the evil Lynn looking lady. You know they you got angels and devils on your shoulder. The angel on my shoulder tells me, man, don't be making streams about this. Everybody's doing it. It seems like spider sense is tingling. The devil's like, all right, man, we got to be talking about this guy, everybody. We got to be talking about this guy day and night. We got to be dreaming about him. We either got to be worshiping him and turning the other way when he does something bad, or we got to be out there throwing rocks through cars. I don't, no, something tells me or don't. Look, this is the perfect analogy. You got Joker's Batman here. We could talk about that. By the way, you guys you guys see that down there? You see that? What do you think the temperature is of that fluid below the Joker? Okay? Exactly. He's going to be burning some belly fat. Look at that. That is a literal burning belly. He will literally burn belly fat. Dude, I actually like when they started talking, dude, I was like jump scared. All right. Oh, that's all we're going to talk about, ain't it? Look at this title. Look at this title. Oh, we are fixated, people. We are fixated on about 4 things in this country. Well, I'm assuming Mr. Higher whatever drainage, higher de-drainage, drainage like what? Like draining warm draining the warm toilet water into the sewer kind of drainage. You're from Stream Boo. Cool, man. Welcome in. Yeah. Oh, internet, man, you're funneling us all into. Look at this. It's all this. So this is supposed to be like a new algorithm, right? From like my phone. It don't look like a different algorithm. Yeah, there. More of this, guys. That's what we need. Oh god. Okay, I need to do. He can drink this, man, dude. What is that? Number 4. The OCD part of my brain is like actually counting. Here's the thing. I have inclinations that are very OCD. Like I could be a counter, but then I'm too damn lazy. There's a part of my brain that's too lazy for the OCD that wants to step forward and take over my life. That's probably a blessing. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, dude. Was it the third or fourth? I almost want. I honestly, I think it'd be funny to take count of how many of these bots we've been just slashing and chopping the hell up, slashing and chopping the hell up like the cloud's a buster sword. Like Albert Wasper just went 7 minutes before his Bido bot. All right, that Albert Wasper one, that one went felt. It didn't feel forced when I said it, but after the fact, it looked to me to be forced. You guys ever have it where you're like a joke sounds real good and fresh in your brain, and then you say it and go, dude, that must have had an expiration date from between my brain and my mouth. Other times you go, dude, am I really doing this dad joke? Am I really going there? And then like you'll get a feedback from who you're talking to that it was actually like gold. Right, I'm trying to check out chat here. Or it's gonna be a tech tech sim. The stream is brought to you by Tech Sim. He can drink this band with some warm ice water. It's funny because it doesn't make sense. Just like I'm not gonna say who this individual is because I enjoy a lot of their entertainment. Here's the thing, dude. If you have a little bit of a criticism and you name a person, it makes it look like you're unfavorable to it. I'm favorable to this person. 95 out of 100. Okay. Here's the 5%. I actually heard someone say this. Speaking of things that don't make sense, like a nice warm glass of ice water. Okay. Oh shit, where is it in my memory? Um when people are resistant to instruction in media, it makes them vulnerable to propaganda. I want you guys to think about that for a minute. When someone says no, they say yes. When it's warm, it's cold. It is literally a nonsensical statement. But as I said, this person has so much value in their streams. I'm not saying who it is. Okay, we got some. Am I gonna be at the whims of the algorithm? I shouldn't be such a slave to the algorithm, should I? What are we doing next? What are we doing? Oh, Jason and the Argonauts. Bro, Before there was hockey masks in Camp Crystal Lake, there was my dude over here, Jason. Hell yeah, boy. Oh man, that reminds me of like a daydream that I had, dude. You know what? I'm just gonna roll with this. You know what Jason and the Argonauts is reminding me of? I was thinking about that debtor's prison thing. Like you got your 4 payments on your chalupa and you got late. And then there's been like there's been this big run on certain political party in this country, and they bring back a thing that people don't even say anymore. And I'm actually concerned if I said this and it potentially caught on that you're actually giving them ideas. Okay. It's called a debtor's prison. A debtor's prison. And if you're late on your 4th payment for your chalupa that you got 3 weeks ago because you were really hungry and you're getting kind of sick of your lentils, and you missed a payment on your 4 easy payments for your chalupa, you're going to get rounded up. They're going to make this Freedom City that used to be at Yosemite Park, and you're going to be chipping away at rocks with um with a pickaxe. Your back is going to be screaming at you. And you're going to be thinking, man, if I just keep working hard, not only am I going to pay off this chalupa, I'll be just like this man over here. And there's going to be a giant statue of some unnamed billionaire. Okay, there's this giant statue, this unnamed billionaire, and he's up there, and he like moves his head and looks at you because like your movement has gotten a little slower. It's like Ben-Hur when they're watching him work, and they're like ramming speed. They're like gold digging speed, and you're sitting there, dude, working off that chalupa, like, come on, body, don't give out on me now. This is right. Greed is good. Capitalism is amazing. I will pay off the chalupa. And that big golden head of that unnamed billionaire is like looking at you like the cameras from 1984. And it's deliberating on if you're worth even your worth of slinging around a pickaxe worth your worth. That was redundant. So this thumbnail is reminding me of that daydream I had about an unnamed billionaire statue watching you work so you can pay off your 4 easy payments of your chalupa from DoorDash. Let's see the DoorDash CEO. I want to see this guy for a minute. I bet you anything. Let's see. DoorDash CEO Tony Zhu on new hourly pay offering. See this guy? See this the big brain on Tony, you could just tell. Look at that big CEO grin. I want you guys to think of that big CEO grin when you think that you're going to get debt because of his new fintech idea for DoorDash, because you can't pay off your chalupa in one sitting because we're drowning, not even in warm water. We're drowning in cold water of the standard of living. And look at how bright and happy this guy is. That smile, look at his face. He can't unsmile. He's so happy. He's making so much money with his fintech ideas to make sure, guys, that you got 4 easy payments on your chalupa. If I say chalupa enough, I think like chalupa. Chalupa to me, you say it enough times, it doesn't matter. It's like you don't hear it anymore. But let me tell you something. After not paying your 4 easy payments of your chalupa, you're going to remember that chalupa, even with its goofy sound. Bullets. Dude, what was the thing earlier, Wesker, about bullets? Bullets. Oh, Oh, something about bite the bull, not bite the bullet. I need a nice warm glass of ice water. You see how happy and smart this guy is? And if you find yourself living out in your car and you twisted your ankle at work and you lift like 60 pounds back and forth over and over in some freight job and you keep working even though your ankle's screaming at you and you're really worried that if you call in sick that you're not going to make your fourth payment on your chalupa, just know my man here, Tony Zoo, is made sure that you could even hypothetically buy that chalupa. This guy's doing you a favor. Okay, enough Tony. I'm not even listening to Tony Zoo. Well, well now because I got a flag on a video, I'm I'm very highly conscious about watching his videos get flagged. But guys, honestly, we all know Tony Zoo, and it's Tony Zoo. He's playing the game. If you're playing Monopoly, this guy wants Boardwalk. Okay, the game. You know how they say this. You know how in gangster rap culture they'd say, "Don't hate the player, hate the game." Uh, to Tony Zoo's credit, he's playing the game. These are the rules of the game. Tony Zoo says, hey, let's make sure that now that food isn't affordable, we could get people in debt on food to make sure they come back to DoorDash. And, you know, I eat lentils. I don't eat chalupas for lunch. But these people can get our money a higher $1 billion market cap by eating chalupas and making me richer. You know, I want to exploit weaker people so I'm rich and stuff. Okay, that's enough of Tony Zoo. Tony Zoo. Well, now I almost want to riff more, but you know, I want to riff more, but then it's almost like it's gonna de-evolve into silly puns and stuff. Let's just say Tony Zoo's doing real well, and someone that needs 4 easy payments on a chalupa ain't doing so hot. Okay, we definitely see the food chain here. Yeah. DBD. Maybe this has been all too real. Talking about warm water snake oil scams. You need 4 easy payment. You need a down payment on your lunch. I want people to repeat that. Just like I had Danny DeVito repeat nice cold drink of ice water. I want people to repeat that. Down payment on a lunch. That's where we're at, America. Down payment on your lunch. Literal. There's no argumentation here. We've come to the point where you're putting a down payment on your lunch. Bruh. Dude. I want people to actually meditate on that fact for a minute. Okay. Oh, Jason and the Argonauts. I want to see if this movie. Well, let's face it, Wesker. You probably Wesker. You think? Do I even need to ask Resident Evil 7 or Jason and the Argonauts? do I do I need to ask, dude? What? So we got Argonauts and Astronauts. What is Argo? Is that like ocean? And Astro is like space? And a knot is you're traveling through? Like you're, or is it land? Let's see. Is public domain? I don't need any more flags. What? Okay. An audiobook of this? Okay, Jason and the see it. Look, guys, you see those builds? That is from the reason they got rid of all that belly fat. And you know, you guys know how fattening Greek food is. You know how those guys got rid of all that belly fat? Warm water. Okay, is this is it like okay? I'm like, I wish I could just get uh, wish I could just get a quick answer. Starting to take a hitting the brakes on content here for a minute. I kind of feel like streaming. I know I've watched a lot of streamers. They seem cool with the silence and not chatting up the vacuum to putting all those words into the proverbial vacuum. But for me, it's kind of what they used to say about radio. You know, silence is the death of a radio host. You gotta keep the content flowing forward. That one looks kind of mid. That's midish. That guy almost looks like Brendan Fraser. That reminds me, Brendan Fraser in the movie The Whale. That was gonna be a little bit of my bit about warm water, because you know the guy. If you see Brendan Fraser in The Whale and you sum a bit about warm water, you can see where that's going. Especially whales are water. There's a lot of tie-ins you could do. But I think we're past that. I think that ship has sailed the warm water. Okay, 1963. Because we're not doing no non-public domain anymore. I got a non-monetized check on the Wasp Woman video. Maybe I'll just. Oh, let me check the chat here. I want to watch this movie, but I think it might not be public domain. Ten best public domain movies.
And Doug.
You'll be back. Emus can't help people customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. You're just a flightless bird.
Hello guys,
That
and
ain't nice,
welcome
man.
to a brand new video.
Today we're going to be
Calling
talking
someone a
about 10
flightless
best
bird.
public domain movies that you can watch for free right now. Due to it was deemed cult,
Oh, here we go. I got it.
the source novel
I
was
got it.
later adapted in 1971 as The Omega Man and then in the legendary movie in 2006.
I got it. See, look at this, dude. Look at this. On the internet, we've done nothing to stimulate this on the algorithm. I just feel like there's so much of this zeitgeist stuff is just so pushed. It's so pushed. Dude. So like I don't know where y'all live, but if you're rural, you may or may not have in-laws that have this kind of teeth stuff after a non-specified uh, activity that makes your teeth all messed up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, like look at this. We got Obama and Biden. We got Trump. We got Elon. Dude, what? And then we got what is this? What is with this algorithm, man? Is this normie algorithm? Anyway, what? Psh, ADHD's kicking in, man. The last man on Earth. I'm really glad to get this stream moving, though. God, this morning, dude. Feel like what's going on? Okay, last man on Earth. What's his Vincent Price? That's a name. That's a name right there, dude. I feel like people like was it Vincent Price? Vincent Price's last movie was Edward Scissorhands, wasn't it? Vincent from Final Fantasy VII? I only play video games. Vincent Price, Edward. Oh, dude. They got an interview? Okay. Yeah, this was his last movie. I think that he died like around the production of this movie, didn't he? You know how I almost interpret this? I could be reading too into this. I'm sure I am. But here's an interesting concept. Is I'm just gonna put it on. Let's see. I'm sure that there's some copyright stuff going on here, but so I almost feel like this is a metaphor, right? Like the idea you created me. You know when in the arts, when you're standing on the shoulders of giants, as they say in the sciences and the arts, I feel like Tim Burton, in a way, was created by the Vincent Prices that came before him. And it's kind of like a perfect casting of Edward Scissorhands' dad, that it would be Vincent Price. And so Tim Burton is the proverbial Edward Scissorhands, and Vincent Price is the proverbial father. And I feel like, dude, that is like really touching that he died. His last thing to do was die during a scene like that, like passing on the arms. Now, granted, in the plot line, he doesn't get his arms, but it's almost like a metaphorically, it's like passing off the torch. But then you need conflict in a movie, so you can't do it successfully, right? I think that's really cool. I've always thought this scene, knowing that he died around production, that it makes this scene even more powerful to me. You know, this is his last movie. This is his last send out. I feel like, too, sometimes when actors get old enough, when they play old people, it's more believable and authentic. I'll give you an example of that. Clint Eastwood recently was in a movie about being a drug runner for a cartel, and they used him because he's less suspicious to the police. Well, when he has to act like a senile old man in a few scenes to throw people off and make them think that he's not a threat, he's not doing anything criminal. And when he does the "I'm a bumbling old man" routine, Clint Eastwood is old enough that that is like super, super believable. God, I saw a Joker on the thumbnail there, and maybe go back to the warm water content, warm water stream. You know. All right, color. Do we want? Nah, man. I want my stuff old school. I want old school. I want my Last Man on Earth black and white. That don't look black and white. That looks gold. That's as golden as the statue of the resemblance of the anonymous billionaire watching people work as they are in debtor's prison because they couldn't make the 4 easy payments on the chalupa. That gold. That's not black and white. Dude, that's like with the music and that visual. I know that's not a lot of work to just set the camera up and film that, but with the music, dude, this is like spooky as fuck. Dead bodies everywhere. Someone play the chord music. The end has come. No, this is the beginning of the movie, guys. That's just unfactual. That's a cool shot. I like that. Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey.
Another day to live through.
Oh, dude, relatable. Relatable, dude. Dude, this is gonna be the beginning of like he's just woke up at the debtor's prison because he didn't make his 4th payment on his chalupa, dude. Another day to live through. The last man in the gulag. You better drink some of that warm water, Vincent. We need you to be nice, strong, and healthy in the next 30 decades. We need you to last long enough that you could star in the Edward Scissorhands movie. My favorite role, but that's cohort, right? That's cohort. Maybe this movie will change my mind. That's very possible. I don't think I've actually like a Vincent Price movie. I don't think I've ever watched a Vincent Price movie. This is how the house be in upcoming society near you. You'll be putting boards on the door. That's gonna be on the real. Keep the meth zombies out. The music and the visuals, especially because of black and white, of course, it's making me think of Night of the Living Dead. I love that movie. It's a tradition of mine to watch Night of the Living Dead every Halloween. I do not believe I've missed a year. However, I think there was one year it was just put on and then turned off like an hour later, like a half hour later, like halfway through the movie. These movies were a little shorter, right? So, typically shorter. So I don't know the exact time, but it was still played. It was still technically played. Tradition still technically adhered to. It's like if you did grace every night for your dinner, but one night you're like, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Thank you so much for my chalupa. God, help me make my 4 easy payments on the chalupa. God bless you. And then you were done. It was like that. It was rushed adherence to ritual. But the last time I actually like actively watched it, last October, I was like actively watching it.
An empty, dead, silent world.
Damn, dude. Damn. So, like,
More of them.
maybe this is just a hipster part of me.
Today there are more of them.
I'm actually enjoying the vibe of this film more than the Will Smith movie. Though it could encroach into my favorability of me liking this more than the Will Smith one because he has made himself where you associate with his films. He's kind of soiled his name in a way that it could possibly contaminate the movie. You know, slap a Chris Rock. Coffee. You gotta be drinking that warm water, dude. Oh, look at this booze and coffee, dude. This dude's living it up. Booze, coffee, and radio. This is how we used to jam. Is this ham radio? Guys, my ADHD totally wants to kick in and talk about ham radio hobbyists. Before streaming, before the internet, you had ham radio homies that would talk to each other on their ham radios. And they'd be like, hey, I'm a ham radio guy. How about you? I'm a ham radio guy. How'd you like that baseball game? Oh, well, it was pretty exciting, wasn't it? Cool, dude. I'll be talking to you later. Like pre-internet communications, ham radio, how things have evolved. I knew someone that was really into the ham radio hobbyist stuff. That was such a long time ago, and their age, they're probably kaput.
Can't bear to see their image.
You like that? They're probably dead.
Need more
Well,
memories.
think about it. If you're old enough that you like using the ham radio as a hobby, and it's 2020s, I mean, hey, would it be a shocker? R.I.P.
There was a time when eating was pleasurable. Now it bores me. Just fuel for survival.
Yeah.
For coffee and orange juice.
Yeah. Let's talk about our futures, guys.
There's my
Settle for coffee, orange juice, and lentils, dude. Don't be getting into that. You know, don't be getting into debt over your, let's see, egg salad. Your egg salad with blue cheese. Maybe I should have just stuck to the chalupa.
better stop off and get 'em.
He does have a very iconic voice, Vincent Price. Dude, if he starts making these dolls talk together, dude, he really does need some friends.
I can't afford the luxury of anger. Anger can make me vulnerable.
Wow.
Destroy my reason, and reason's the only advantage I have over them.
Oh my god, this dialogue is like low-key cool.
Hide during the
I
day,
actually like that.
cover every
I
word.
can't afford the privilege of anger.
Where did I finish off yesterday?
I need to be focused. I need to be able to respond. I can't be emotionally, like, controlled by my anger.
And And there's more than half the city I haven't searched.
This is like some Fallout stuff, dude. Better get a quest, do some fast travel to search through the city, my guy.
Just wide enough to keep the flesh apart so their body seal can't function.
Are they supposed to be
How many more of
vampires?
these will I have to
Like,
make
I know they weren't
all destroyed?
technically vampires in
You
the
want my blood?
Will Smith movie, but you know how they change
Still get squished.
they change variables all the time. They change elements in these movies all the time. I mean, if you look at from like manga to anime, so half the time they're not the same stories. Like Full Metal Alchemist, where the hell's Father? And then the origin of the Seven Deadly Sin homunculus is like not the same. It is just not the same. The homunculuses were like failed reincarnations or resurrections. That is, yeah, dude. So I don't know. Are they like vampires? It's got stakes, or like, are we looking at decades ago? Stakes weren't just synonymous for vampires. Were stakes like you could use stakes on any kind of monster? Beaumont Livingston.
Means one more stop I'll have to make.
Play some Jackie Brown music there, dude. I was gonna say he left the thing open so anyone could see it. There is no anyone, dude. Anyone is gone.
I can get rid of them later. Right now, I'm out of gas.
Oh, why do you care? I mean, you're not gonna dispose of all the bodies in town, are you? I'm loving the vibe of this movie, by the way. I thought the movie was good with Will Smith. I Am Legend, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It felt a little overrated to me, and I was a little bored. There's something about the desolation I think is being captured more in a I feel it more. I feel the desolation in this a lot more. I heard some kind of notification. Do I want to fumble around with the like? Nah, I'm gonna watch the movie. People, if you're coming in, welcome in. This is Vincent Price movie, The Last Man on Earth. Not to be confused with the Marilyn Manson jammer that was in Mechanical Animals, and the live version is actually better than the original. No, this is the movie that they based I Am Legend with Will Smith, the Chris Rock slapper, and hopefully this is slaps as well, but in a different way than Will Smith. But I could say safely so far, this movie does slap. Although, would you say this movie slaps? I noticed that most of the time people refer to something slapping if it's music. But there is music in this movie, so I will say it slaps. Disposing the bodies. I was gonna start talking politics again. I think I'm gonna be like Vincent Price here. I'm gonna drive away from that content creation for now. I'm gonna resist it. I told you guys earlier, politics. It's like the devil on your shoulder. Do you want to talk about it? I think I want to listen to my inner angel that says, just focus on Vincent Price. Just focus on the fun movie. Damn, dude, you got... Look at... Dude. Look at that food. Back in that day, dude, you throw a nickel out. You throw a nickel out and come out with a cart of food. This ain't no 4 easy payments on your egg salad with blue cheese. Dude, imagine the payments on an egg salad with blue cheese and a chalupa, dude. Imagine the decadence living in the 2020s and your lunch is a egg salad with blue cheese and a chalupa. The living. If someone can afford that kind of food these days, they ought to make one of those. What do they call it? Mukbang videos, dude. That is a weird label they put on stuff. You know how like people say they're gonna do blogs, and it actually sounds like that toilet activity. People come up with some weird labels on stuff, man. You know, like a eating ASMR. So if you can afford an egg salad or egg salad with blue cheese and a chalupa meal in the 2020s. You ought to be cashing in on that decadence, man. You ought to be making some food ASMRs. Dude, I sound like such an R word right there, dude. ASMRs. It's like George Bush trying to say nuclear. ASMRs. You ought to be making yourself a food mukbang ASMR if you can afford yourself some of that egg salad, blue cheese chalupa money, some of that condensed soup money, boy. I gotta be listening to Vincent Price here, man. I gotta be listening to this. And let me know, Wesker, if there's any techno difficulties here. I don't want to be doing this whole Vincent. Whoa! Shit! That was interesting. The way they filmed that was interesting, dude. No blood? Actually, dude. This movie rocks, man. This movie is badass. To hell with Nosferatu, the remake. So look at this dude. This dude is hard working, man. This guy's doing the OT. Slaughtering undead OT. This dude makes Van Helsing look like... What's that show you were telling me about, Wesker?
I haven't much time
Something about some woke shit. It was like Johnny Super or something like that. This guy makes Johnny Super. Or no, this guy makes Van Helsing look like Johnny Super. Who ain't very super when it comes to a tier list of badasses, dude. I'll tell you that much. Garlic. You gotta get your garlic, dude. I love this. We got a steak through the heart. We got some garlics. This dude. This dude is savage, man.
Now, 12 long hours before the sun will rise and drive them back to darkness.
So I'm gonna play some good old tunes. I was trying to think of a good reference there for some old music. Dude, I was born in '81, man. This era. Don't worry, be happy. That's what he should be playing. Don't worry, be happy. I don't know what year he came out, but to hell with it. Now imagine Don't Worry, Be Happy during this. Whoa! Excuse me? What year did this come out?
Morgan, come out. Come out.
I gotta check something. $1968. Wow, dude. You guys ever done this? Where you'll watch a bunch of older stuff and then stuff you really liked you assumed was more unique than it actually was? Bruh, I thought Night of the Living Dead, I'm gonna claim my naiveness here. I thought it was more original than I thought it was, dude. This is so Night of the Living Dead. Think about half of Night of the Living Dead. And like that is so Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead happened 4 years after this. Just casually takes a nap. This is the audience watching Wasp Woman, waiting for some Albert Wasper action. Shit.
Another day. Another day to start all over again.
I like instead of the alarm clock, this time it was some blood-curdling scream. Blood-curdling. That's something you often only read. I haven't heard blood-curdling. Dude, that has such a cool sound, dude. Blood-curdling, like milk. Like it clumps up your blood. Like you're gonna get a... What do you call that? When you get a blood clot? A blood clotting scream? I like this movie. It's very interesting. I thought you made like 100 of these. Oh, yeah. He used about 100, didn't he? Well, dude, it's all that drinking he did before going to bed, man. It's called a hangover, dude. I think if you were all alone and you went around killing undead or infected or whatever this is supposed to be, I think drinking is the last thing you ought to be doing, son. Mr. Vincent Price. Not to mention all the drunk driving you'll be doing. Now, I know it's a little different drunk driving on a road full of vehicles, but you could still very easily swerve off the road if you're drunk driving by yourself. I got an idea because there's no threat of police. This dude is like DUIs as much as he does is breaking in church looking for their cabinets full of booze. Which, by the way, I don't know if many people know this. I know drinking is usually associated with not being religious or churches, but the Catholic Church, they'll keep cabinets full of booze, man. And I'm not even mentioning the wine for the sacrament. I played Final Fantasy VI way too much. I just thought of Locke and his deceased loved one, whose sprite animation for her head is so bizarre. Her head looks like twice the size of her body. You guys know what I'm talking. No, you don't. No, you don't. But then, unlike Vincent Price here, Locke, our treasure hunter, he doesn't like being called thief. He likes doublespeak. He likes the appropriate doublespeak, political correctness on calling him a thief. It's a treasure hunter. He, unlike Vincent Price here, he gets, there's more fish in the sea. Hopefully a sea full of warm water. Because what Locke does, he meets Celeste, right? One of the main characters of the game. So he's able to heal from the wounds of the death of his old lover and find a new woman to care for. So, see, these people over here, I don't think Vincent Price is going to get some, rebound fun. Oh! Yeah, that music, dude. Wow, Night of the Living Dead. It's not feeling as original to me, guys. God, sometimes you gotta watch out when you go back and explore old media, dude. You realize your old favorites ain't as unique as you thought they were. I think one of the major differences, and I'm sure people would agree with me on this, the gore on Night of the Living Dead definitely set it apart. So, like, you could look at The Boys and Watchmen being cynical superhero tales, but as far as spice goes, as far as gore goes, The Boys takes the cake over Watchmen. See, like, it was way more gorier and like more like, what the hell, Night of the Living Dead than this movie. So they're vampires or something. Like, I know vampires can't see the reflection, but he's got mirrors, steaks, and garlic. I mean, what else would you call this shit? They're like somewhere in between vampires and zombies. It's like some weird amalgamation of undead infected. That's cool. I like that music. Dude, I'm not saying this to be some kind of cool contrarian or hot take or bass or hipster stuff. Honestly, dude, I like this movie better than the Will Smith movie, especially if you count for the time it came out. Oh, it's his family. Oh, that's sad, man. He's like Tom Cruise in that sci-fi movie that everybody used to reference, that fancy computer. Oh, that's not him. Is this somebody? He's like vicariously living through somebody else's family footage? That's sad. It went from sad to sad. Guys, if you want to know the difference between sad and Sag. Sad is Tom Cruise watching family film footage in Minority Report. If you want to see Sag, you got to see Vincent Price watching family footage in The Last Man on Earth. This is just Sag. Look at, oh my God, he's gonna weep. Or laugh, or both. He's got that laugh and resting grin like Tony Zhu, the CEO of DoorDash, because he knows soon people are going to get in debt for lunch. This is Tony Zhu when he thought about getting fintech in on the DoorDash. Seriously. I'm serious, guys. Put Tony Zhu's face over Vincent Price right now and show data about people's credit card debts versus 30 years ago, and how now we're going to get debt for buying chalupas. The DoorDash is making it real easy. Does he do this at night? Does someone like Tony Zhu, does he think, man, wait, I'm exploiting people that can barely eat, and I'm living in a space yacht. I'm living in a spacefaring yacht. Okay. 3 years since that horrendous incident. Leon, dude. Dude. I have to, man. I can't not, dude. I can't not.
Hey, Verge.
Yes?
Don't I have good grammar? Don't I? Resident.
Hey, where is everybody? All I can see
Hi,
is
Ben.
I can hear children, but I can't see any children.
Uncle Ben! Uncle Ben! Hey, look at how I'm crazy. Ben, Uncle Ben!
Please work with me, YouTube. Just give me. Just give me the quote. I just want the quote. Come on. I just want the quote. It's been. Okay. Resident Evil 4 intro. It should be like right off the bat. And you know what? Video games don't seem to be so greedy, uptight about their properties, which I think they're being smart because it's like you want to get word out of your IP, don't you?
1998.
I'll
never forget it.
I'll never forget it. I
was the
was
year
Vincent Price.
When those grisly murders occurred in the Arklay Mountains. Soon after, the news was out to the whole world, revealing that it was the fault of a secret viral experiment conducted by the International Pharmaceutical
This really does have
Umbrella.
Last Man on Earth vibes.
The virus broke out in a nearby mountain community, Raccoon City, and hit the peaceful... was finished.
Oh, here we go.
6 years have passed since that horrendous incident.
6 years have passed since that horrendous incident. Okay, Vincent Price, your turn. Vincent? Hello? No!
I've got to pick Ben Cortman up on.
Dude, you're not going to make me do this. Come on, man. Okay. 3 years since that horrendous incident. 1961. All right, back to his family life. 3 years has passed since that horrendous incident.
Hey, Verge.
When I stopped drinking warm water and only drank water with ice. Oh, this is really naturalistic here, guys.
Can't see any children.
Uncle Ben! Uncle Ben!
Uncle Ben's rice? No. I remember the first internet memes. There was one of Uncle Ben's rice package, and it had Osama bin Laden's face instead of Uncle Ben, and it said Uncle Ben's ricin'. Because ricin' was a big scare a couple decades ago. Uncle Ben's ricin'. It's maybe dates itself as one of the first memes ever, dude. Like,
It's highly
I'm
theoretical, Ben.
pretty sure I saw that before
Do I
all
have
your
theory as a beginning?
warm water are belong to us. All your base are belong to us. I don't want to convolute the conversation by memeing a meme. It could become confusing.
Carried on the wind. Is it, Ben?
The wind?
Could be.
Is this the happening?
If it is,
Come to steal
It
my
isn't,
things?
Verge.
No, ma'am.
is that what you
Come
really
to
think?
kill me in my
I
sleep?
cannot
No,
accept
ma'am.
half-baked theories that sell newspapers. I'm a scientist. Not
Oh, he's
You're
skeptical.
whistling past the graveyard.
Is that a commentary on my work at the lab?
Is that a commentary on my work as a film actor,
I
Vincent
just can't
Price?
accept the idea of
Whistling
universal disease.
down the graveyards?
Uncle Ben, you promised y'all
All right, Kathy. Who can resist that face?
What the hell is that? He's suddenly
All right.
doped?
Card tricks.
That is not the same voice. Seriously, that is not this. Like, Patrick Starr started, like, voice dubbing this shit.
Anything is possible, Verge. The best brains in the world have been running through this thing with a fine-tooth comb. The germ is visible under a microscope, but it's not like any bacilli ever known.
In what way?
It can't be destroyed by any process we've been able to uncover.
But with the whole world trying, there must be a solution.
Ever the optimist.
Right
Cake?
now, our problem is to cut that
You got
cake.
4 easy payments on that cake, dude. You better soon. Hey, DoorDash, I need a cake delivered. Here's my credit card information. I'll make my first payment next week if you don't mind. I'm a little behind on my car payment. You know, the thing I'm living out of? No, I'm gonna straight up. It is not heresy. I will not recant. I will straight up shade. I will shade our society that we're making a down payment on our lunch. You want birthday cake? I hope you got creditors. The wind. I just caught that. I just like my attention on this movie was delayed. There's something in the wind. So the M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Happening, is borrowing heavily from The Last Man on Earth and Night of the Living Dead. At least the scene where he's fending off the undead vampire, not vampire, zombie, not zombie. Wait a second. Wait a goddamn minute.
The wind wake you up?
You'll be dead.
How do you feel?
The wind will kill you.
I'm all right.
Oh, don't
I just
get up.
realized something, man.
I'm not sick, Bob.
Night of the
You
Living
don't have to.
I'll be all right. Go on and
Night of
rest
the
up
Living
there.
Dead gets credit for the first zombies. Correct? Well, what are these? I know the thing spoke, but come on. You can't get too literal with some of the elements because the zombies run also in Night of the Living Dead. And then they said, we made zombies run. Zombies always ran. When they said 28 days later, it's zombies, but they run. Zombies always ran. At least in Night of the Living Dead, they got the guy that busted Johnny's head open on a gravestone. That guy was running. He was running like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Running Man. Oh, this is sad. His kid dies or whatever.
Oh, sweetheart, look, if you don't feel well, please go back to bed.
I'm just a little tired, that's all. I wish somebody would find a vaccine.
It's all we're working on at the lab, Verge. Maybe you better not.
Well,
say
what kind
anything.
of coincidence is that? They're making the vaccine and his kid is sick at the same time. He happens to be in a
I
position
have to.
of professionalism and his kid is sick simultaneously.
I'm so
plot convenient. It's okay. You gotta have plot
Everything's
conveniences.
gonna be all right.
You can't just make this guy some anonymous scientist with no, with no chips on the table. He's got to have stakes. It's what Chris Nolan told Gary Oldman in the Batman movie. He said he gave him one direction one time in all three movies. He said the stakes are higher. You got to make the stakes higher. He's got a kid that could die.
Well,
The bacilli are multiplying.
that kicks the bone marrow theory in the head.
This specimen shows a higher white count than when I put it on the slide.
Don't you mean kicks the bone marrow theory in the skull?
Answer. You heard that all communication
Bone skull.
Yes, I heard.
That leaves it in our laps. So we keep trying. Where's
Is this
Gordon?
guy gonna have the Patrick voice again?
But he should be here by now.
You two stay on this virus.
This is the Vincent Price Labs. No,
Right.
this is Patrick.
Yes, sir.
SpongeBob memes, dude. If you did top 10
And what did the
tier
British
list
science have to say today?
of most,
More of the usual?
Oh, he's
is the
trying,
word
man.
prolific? I'm just gonna
And
use the
nothing
word
worse.
prolific
Streets
memes.
are swarming with
A spider or SpongeBob might be up there as number one.
dedicated Dr.
I feel like
Murphy
Tobey
goes on
Maguire's
with a
Spider-Man's
an
up there too.
imaginative approach.
You have a better idea?
Maybe. At least it involves imagination.
Ben, it's as simple as this. An unknown germ is being blown around the world. It's highly contagious and it's reached plague proportions.
And you don't believe some of the dead have come back?
Now let's get to work.
Well, that's not topical.
And why are they
That's not topical at all.
bury them?
Because it's the best known way to control the contagion, to keep the germ from spreading.
That's what we've always believed at any rate.
You'd prefer us to believe in vampires?
If they exist, yes. There's
Oh yeah. We got that trope. Skeptical scientist
With fear.
denies the supernatural.
there are too many to be just
But wait a minute. Even if they were vampire-like,
people who have died and
if you actually show the contagion, isn't it non-supernatural if you have the cause under a microscope? Even if you had symptoms of a vampire, is it a vampire if there's a rational explanation?
Come here.
Because a vampire, by its very definition, is fiction.
I know his look.
I sound like this guy. I sound like Vincent Price over here.
Now, is this
I don't believe in magic.
And this
Onward!
every infected person, or isn't it?
To show me germs is not to refute these stories, Bob.
Germs?
If there are vampires,
Oh, they would have said virus these days.
Come on, let's
the vampire germ. Wait. Is germs like a generic? With that, like bacteria and viruses are like under the same umbrella? Kind of like they used to say wasting disease, but it's cancer now? Or like heroin and fentanyl? Like the words evolve and maybe the thing changes in some elements, but it's kind of like we're talking about the same thing.
You must notify the health department immediately if you have a plague victim.
Dude, it's Fauci, dude. It's 1960s Fauci. God, that's a freaking buzzword of a last name. You say Fauci, dude. You're going to get an emotional response out of somebody these days.
No, nothing new.
You know, I think it would be interesting to test something. Different zeitgeists and cohorts. Say, like, 50 last names and make them like popular political people and test their sympathetic nerve response and do that every year for like 30 years and see if there are cohorts and changes in people's sympathetic nerve response just to a last name. So you check, you record someone's sympathetic nerve response, say the last name. Musk, Fauci, Harris, Trump, Obama, Bush, Kirk, Shapiro, Ingram, and then you record the sympathetic nerve response, and then see if, like, year after year, if people's sympathetic nerve response, according to trending last names, controversial last names, goes more up. I'm willing to bet if you did this test today and you had the last name Fauci, you're going to have some of your people are going to have a higher sympathetic nerve response, right? Like their heart is going to start pounding. They're going to start sweating. They're going to start breathing heavier at the last name Fauci. Then if you said like the last name, like, or you said like Kanye West 20 years ago or something like that. Or like that's not fair because that's not political. Like Yahoo. Benjamin Yahoo or something, man. Yahoo like the chocolate drink? No, Yahoo like the leader of Israel, which we won't state too much detail on. But I actually wonder that. I wonder if that's possible that depending on the cohort and the zeitgeist, people have more of an emotional response simply to the stimulus of a last name. Fauci. You know, Trump. Like, immediately fight or flight kicks in when they hear a last name and they start hearing those ancient caveman drums start beating in the back of their brains.
Who's there? It's me, Ben.
Knock, knock.
Ben, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, 4 payments on the cake, ma.
Ben.
Money management of the future, Wesker.
There's nothing to talk about.
What's it gonna be? What's money management of the future gonna be?
You laughed at me and my theory.
Well,
You might be
I could.
You're ill. You ought to see a
My name is Albert Wasper.
You take care of your life. I'll take
I
care of
could
Now get away from here.
buy.
You understand?
You know how they used to have the hobby of ham radios? Well, you know, you could maybe he's got like a kind of a nerdy hobby of collecting like a wasp nest, like pet wasps. You know, what's that gonna take these days to have a hobby like that, you know? Or does he buy a Jill sandwich? Does Albert Wasper buy his Jill sandwich? You know, and he almost misses his 4th payment on his Jill sandwich. And that was too close. You almost didn't afford your Jill sandwich. Sorry I missed your comment a few minutes earlier. We're having our classical chat delay. Classic. Oh my god, Wesker! Dude, you missed it, dude. He said, well, he didn't quote this, but he basically said, 3 years have passed since that horrendous incident. Seriously, instead of 6 years, this guy's straight up Leon that shit. To the point where I actually wonder if the Resident Evil 4, since it's like a zombie franchise, I'm wondering if it was referencing this, you know? Oh, I noticed another thing that Night of the Living Dead borrowed from this movie. The sick kid. There's a sick daughter downstairs in Night of the Living Dead. They got the sick daughter trope. She should have been drinking her warm water.
Someone finds the answer.
No, I don't think so. I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed.
Mankind was always the poison.
Is evidence of that.
This guy's acting is evidence of shit. Oh, I missed the gym membership, man. I missed the gym membership comment. We gotta get the chat teched out. We gotta fix that chat. Oh, she ain't doing so hot anymore, dude. Remember earlier, she was all dolling up her hair and being like, "Oh man, life is swell." This is a straight tragedy, dude. What's going on here? Why is he so pissed? Well, I missed something. I was talking about 4 easy payments on your lunch. 4 easy payments on your warm water.
I told you not to call anyone.
Mom, she was blind. She couldn't see. She kept reaching out her hands, groping for me. Then,
Oscar.
all of a sudden, she was gone.
You know why Will Smith
I came in, I
smacked
tried to stop them.
Chris
They
Rock
took her.
at the
I saw a
Oscars?
truck out there.
Because he knew he was in I Am
that it?
Legend, and he knew it was a remake
Was it?
off this movie. He watched this movie, dude, and he was like, "That is some actual Oscar-worthy acting." This makes me so mad, man. I gotta repress, push down my anger. And then when Chris Rock was talking about, Alien 3 with Sigourney Weaver haircuts, he just snapped. But really, what he was ruminating about was the Oscar-worthy acting of this movie, and how the original really showed up his POS money grabbing remake. You know what I mean? Oh, this is where he starts throwing those bodies in, man.
Did this truck just come in from Market Street? I said, did this truck just come in from Market Street?
Mister, I don't know.
Huh. Let me take off this goddamn helmet, man. I can't hear you. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, speaking of saying Jesus Christ, I saw a recent podcast where the podcaster was saying Jesus Christ a lot, and the other guy was all uppity and super moral, like he wouldn't bat an eye if you dropped 1,000,000 bombs on some people in some huts in parts unknown, but say Jesus Christ. Woo! Say a word. Freak out. But a policy that hurts people, it's the law. That's the law. Sure, I'm sure that person is on the right side of Jesus' teachings and philosophy. I'm sure of it. This is freaky, dude.
Verge.
Verge, you're on the verge of hysteria. That needed a drum roll. That was worse than your common everyday Taco Bell joke. Man, everyone's getting infected. Except Vincent Price. What's the price you pay for four easy payments if I want to suck your blood? Oh yeah. Let's go.
No,
That guy's dressed for the White House.
I won't let them put you there, Verge. I promise.
They don't make mustaches like they used to, do they? Look at that pencil thin mustache. You know how much time that would take, man? Fuck that. These guys back in the day, caring how they looked. Oh my God. Oh, sorry, they did that thing where they were like, taking too long getting somewhere. My attention. It's like Steve Martin talking to John Candy in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You know, while you were talking, did you notice I was reading the instructions on this barf bag so I could be distracted by your goddamn talking, man? Like, hey, these vitamins. I wonder what percentage of vitamin E is in this for the daily consumption. Oh, yeah. The guy's driving. So, one of the things you have to admit that movies do better now is pacing. The pacing's better. This is slightly dragging, guys. Guys, first problem. What is it? This stream. What's the theme? What's the theme of the stream? What's the theme of the stream? He's got ice in his glass. We saw very clearly by modern information spreading that it is warm liquid that induces health. I think there's been a lot of ice cubes floating around, a lot of glasses in this movie, and I think I may know the source of the vampire germ. Drinking a nice cold glass of ice water.
Who's there?
Meth smoking neighbors. People do not drink warm water. Oh, shit. Oh, my God, the eyes. Oh, my God. Dude, this is zombies. They could, okay, they said the word, guys, they said the word vampire. This is zombie behavior, dude. Night of the Living Dead didn't come up with zombies. I don't care what it's like labeled, but they said the word vampire. But this is most clearly in action a fucking zombie. Like, you could call a turtle a snake if you want. And then you could say, it's not the first turtle. It was called a snake. This is turtle. This is turtle. This is zombies, dude. Dude. I've just been schooled. I've been saying for years. This movie made a liar out of me. I've been saying for years. Night of the Living Dead is the first zombie film. No, it's not. In fact, wow. Talk about, I don't want to rip into one of my favorite movies ever, dude, but I did not realize. As Elvis copies Forrest Gump's dancing in Forrest Gump, and he didn't come up with the moves, Night of the Living Dead didn't come up with the zombies, man. This is the proverbial original Forrest Gump dancing with the leg braces. This is it. This is the dance. These are zombies. Now, I don't know if zombies predate this, but I was under the idea that Night of the Living Dead was the first zombies. That stands corrected. I mean, it's complete with the boards on the window, dude. Talk about zombie tropes. That ain't no vampire trope. Come on.
This convertible would be nice. Probably handles well. But I can't think of comfort. There was a time when I should...
Well, at least that convertible ain't a certain brand of car I could state these days. That's got my brick's name all over it, and that brick is going right through the windshield of a nameless car company that gets my blood a-boiling. But just like Vincent Price said, guys, Vincent Price has a message for you guys out there. Getting all riled up. Anger is going to get in the way of your chi. That's exactly what Vincent Price said at the beginning of this movie. Anger eclipses chi. That's it. I think that's a literal quote from this movie. Oh, doesn't he have a dog friend? Will Smith has a dog friend in I Am Legend, right?
Alive. It's alive.
Oh my god, they love that line back in the day. Didn't I, recently have a watch party where they said something like that, too? It's alive!
Run away.
No one beats it like Frankenstein, though.
Come back. Come back here. Wherever he is, I've got to find him. If I have to search every street, every house, every alley, every inch of this town,
Okay.
I've got to find him.
That's kind of sad, man. All the dude wanted was his man's best friend. That dog sure did tie the room together, did it not, dude?
Where are you, pal? Come here.
That's cool. That's a good shot, man. I like that. I do have somewhere buried deep down within my psyche a film snob. That's a cool shot, dude. That's a cool shot.
They're dead. They've been staked. But these are made of iron. That's wood. Like mine.
Interesting.
Someone else.
Abraham Van Helsing? Hugh Jackman?
Where are they? Where are they hiding?
I don't want to reference that movie because then I might be fucking compulsed to talk about it. Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing. Oh. The movie was so bad. I can feel the phantom of that movie returning into my brain. Ah, that movie, dude. It's like passing a gallbladder.
Answer me.
Or it's like passing stone bladder? Gallstone? Man.
This is KOKW calling. KOKW calling. Answer me.
This is Vincent Price. If you can hear this, you are the resistance. 50 nerd points if you could guess that. Shiat. That is not a commonly referenced movie. So somebody else is around. He's not the last man on Earth. The whole movie's title was a goddamn lie. How could you do this to me?
Decided to come back. Good boy. Don't worry, boy. You're going to be all right. Yes, you are.
Man's best friend. Are they going to do something to the dog? Oh, man. Ask Stephen King, you want to piss off an American audience? Do something to the dog, man. Wait, genuinely, and I know that I could be scathing and hyperbolic, but genuinely, I get the impression people care a lot more about dogs than people sometimes. Like, if they own a dog, they care more about that dog than some of their family members. And I don't mean that like a people, man, I'm a misanthrope and people are evil. No, I mean genuinely. Genuinely, people care for their animals more than other people. Which is, think of that on a biological level, dude, on like a species level. That's insane.
Everything's gonna be all
Imagine birds being like, guys, we gotta make sure these cats are eating well. Let's do what we can to make sure they can eat. Hey, look at this other bird, you asshole. I'll feed you to the cat.
to have lots of happy times together.
Oh, dude, this is sad.
See, everything's going to be fine.
That's sad, dude. This is actually gonna get me, actually, a little bit. This guy is so, Tom Hanks in Castaway with Wilson, only it's like a dog. So it's not as silly as, like, Wilson, the volleyball. Oh my god, I watched Tom Hanks' Castaway in the theater like years ago, and I was like, you know how we all have ups and downs in life? I was on a most definitely demonstrable down. I found that movie oddly soothing for the. I was probably like this guy watching Tom Hanks scream for Wilson. I was in a rough point when I saw that in the theater. That did something for me, man. It was soothing. It was kind of like a tincture, not Final Fantasy tincture. You know, tincture of the soul. I know they got a Hollywood up stuff, but there's something about this movie that I really appreciate more than I Am Legend that maybe or maybe not I could put my finger on. It's like the scenery. I remember the scenery. I just like how minimalist the scenery is. I don't remember the scenery in I Am Legend being this minimalist. Like, the desolation is almost captured better in this by just these empty shots with no people. Oh, dude, it's not the end of the species.
Can't you understand? Wait.
Guys, humans live. Oh, okay, I was going to say it's not the last man on Earth. If someone else is around, it's a lie, but literally last man on Earth. Wait, is that where this stuff comes from? People say, I wouldn't be with you if you were the last man on Earth. Look, guys, she wouldn't be with Vincent Price if he was the last man on Earth. Did that come from this movie? No, there's no way. That must have been said before this movie. There's no way this precedes that saying, right? I wouldn't be with you if you were the last man on Earth. Dude, the hair is hilarious. Disheveled hair. But it looks cosmetically disheveled, which gives almost a nuance of visual irony to be cosmetically disheveled. Okay, what did she do? What is that? Did I miss something here? I might have. Is there a twist coming or something? I feel like I have a vague memory that maybe there was a twist.
You feeling better?
Yes.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
I was going to make some joke about feeling better, but what about watching this movie or something like that? But actually, this is one of the better. That is a crooked back, dude. You think about playing Quasimodo? I think this movie is actually really good, man.
Yeah.
My name is Ruth Collins. I was married. I lost my husband.
Well, marriage fails. The end times, man. All bets are off.
a daughter.
Bad, sorrowful memories. 3 years have passed since that horrendous incident. What?
What are you doing?
Oh, this is sad. Is he going to be paranoid and mistrustful?
Stop, please. Stop it, please. You're making me sick.
Why do you turn away?
Please.
Why do you turn away?
Dude, talk about ruining a good thing, dude. The date was going so well.
You are infected.
No.
Well, dude, let's say maybe you are too. You ever consider that?
You think I'm one?
Maybe there's levels of infection. This guy's got to get over himself, man.
Just because
You can't change the fact.
I told you guys, people prefer their dogs over the other people. Vincent Price.
I got sick. I've had a sensitive stomach all my life. I saw my husband killed, torn to pieces right in front of our house. I've been wandering ever since.
Or is she a spy?
Hiding at night, not eating more than scraps. Sick with mourning, sick with fear, unable to sleep. Then you shout at me. You chased me across a field, hit me, dragged me to this house. And to
Well, it's the 1960s, man. That ain't so taboo.
in my face. You tell me I'm infected.
Where are you
Let me
going?
go.
You can't go out there. It's almost sunset.
Let me go,
You
I
can't
said.
go out there now. In a few
I
minutes,
don't
the streets
care.
will be full
Let
of.
me go.
At
I don't
least let me give you a
care.
blood test.
Don't touch me.
The Thing, McCready blood test coming right up.
Don't touch me.
I wouldn't touch you if you were the last man on Earth. I'm Vincent
You
Price.
must be hungry.
I am the last man on Earth. You must be hungry. Guys, egg salad, blue cheese, chalupa. What's the price? 4 easy payments of Vincent Price.
You know you should eat.
I can't.
Cause you're a vampire? Cut off her fucking head! Smash cut. Smash cut.
You seem used to them.
Oh, as much as anybody could be. I'm not frightened of them anymore, if that's what you mean. Oh, I protect myself against them, but only because there's so many. Individually, they're weak, mentally incompetent, like animals after a long famine. If they weren't, they would have found a way of breaking in here a long time ago.
Come out, Morgan.
Hear that? That's Ben Cortman. He was my friend.
Your friend?
He was like a kid brother. If I could find him and destroy him.
But you said he
What do you
was
mean
your
find him? He's right
When
there.
I find him, I'll drive a stake through him just like all the others.
This guy's brutal, man.
But you lived through all this. Do you know why?
Perhaps I was chosen.
Perhaps it was my career.
It's a laugh.
It's all working towards a distant
Or perhaps
future in the
because a long time ago
1990s,
when I worked in Panama,
where I
was
play
given an
Edward
instant
Scissorhands,
bat.
creator.
My theory is that the bat had previously acquired the vampire germ. By the time
Alucard
that my
bats?
blood had been strained
Oh,
and weakened by the
bats!
toxin. As a result, I have immunity. Well, it's only a guess.
Came from bats? The virus? Oh my god.
That I'm immune.
This is what we call in the conspiracy theory circles as predictive programming. They knew that they were going to spend a virus that was derived from a bat 100 years ago. Oh, well, more
If I
like
am infected,
60 years ago.
cure me?
And then, so they made us more easy with the concept in a old movie, so we would accept it later.
There might be a way. If not of killing the germ, at least of containing it, keeping it from spreading. If I had the equipment.
One day I was looking up at the clouds,
Which you do.
and I thought I saw the shape of a dog. Later that day on the street, I saw a dog. Was it a coincidence? No, the sky was giving me predictive programming to get me ready for the experience and prime me for the readiness of meeting a dog. Yeah, dude, we know where the education system has gotten us these days. What's she doing? Coke? Is this Mia Wallace? Oh, she's doing the sticker stuff. This is some fentanyl. Fentanyl, dude. This movie predicted coronavirus from bats and fentanyl. Fentanyl.
You found a solution?
That's right. Exactly as you said it could be. I take that for it.
What is it?
When did they start sticking themselves on needles? Wasn't it the 60s or was it earlier?
The blood feeds the germ.
Well, I know it's vaccine. I know it's. I don't think it's subtext for drugs. I don't know though. 60s? I don't know, man.
We've had it for some time now.
Chick being all disheveled and with sticking a needle in her arm behind his back.
There are quite a number.
I don't know, man. Could there be a subtext here? Could be too much of a reach.
I was going to cure you. Does that amuse you?
No.
Here I'm ridiculing predictive programming as a theory, and then 5 minutes later I'll talk about how this is a subtext for 1960s drug use.
To find out if you know any more than we do. You know far less. We're alive. Infected, yes, but alive. We're going to reorganize.
You know, Alive is a really good song from the 1990s nu metal band Korn. And if you actually started dropping the beat of Alive right there after she says that, that would be killer, dude.
You can't join us.
That would just work.
You're a monster to them. Why do you think I ran when I saw you? Even though I was assigned to spy on you. Because I was so terrified of what I'd heard about you. You're a legend in the city, moving by day instead of night. Leaving as evidence of your existence bloodless corpses.
To us, you are the monster.
Many of them were loved ones of the people in my group.
I didn't know.
Is there any way you can get out of here?
What do you mean?
They're coming after you tonight.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming to get you, Vincent. Vinny.
To keep you here.
Oh.
Until they come.
To kill me.
Yes.
Your new society.
Your suspicions were apt.
The beginning of any society is never charming or gentle.
And you pretended to be shocked at my violence. Well, what are you waiting for? Why don't you go on and use it? Get it over with. Use it. Get it over with.
Get me now. Come and kill me now. What are you waiting for? Arnold from Predator has entered the chat. Oh!
Now you know.
Oh!
What are you going?
This room has a nice echo. Oh. Coronavirus. I don't know, man. I heard the word coronavirus was heavily censored. Do they still do this? So you get demonetized, man? Or watching Last Man on Earth? This reminds me of coronavirus. Dude, I don't know what to make of these days. I don't. We're living in a brave new world, as they say. Blood transfusion. Just like Bram Stoker's Dracula in The Vampires. This guy's a little bit like a reimagining of Van Helsing. A little bit. He's a scientist. Blood transfusions. Hunter of vampires. Vampires. So you can't tell me these are not zombies.
What are you doing?
It's already done.
You see, I had an idea, as symbolized by the light bulb shining over my head. So I gave you a transfusion.
Look. Look.
What's the matter? Afraid to look ugliness in the face?
You see? It worked, Ruth.
Oh no, what's going
The
on?
antibodies in my blood worked.
Oh my god, what's
blood
going
has
on here?
saved you, Ruth. Do you know what this means? You and I can save all the others. We won't be alone. We'll never be alone again.
You are sure?
Wait.
Has he taken a look in the mirror lately? I'm wondering if he's like looks different, or am I like reading too much into this, or reading the wrong signal here? Does he look different? This guy's starting to creep me out, man.
Don't be afraid.
Women, if a guy has that look on his face, he says, "Don't be afraid," and he gives you a thing of garlic. You tell him, "I wouldn't be with you if you were the last man on earth."
Where are you
I've
going?
got to get out of here. Tell them you're not a
You
threat
can't
to us.
go out there.
You can
You
save all
wouldn't
of
get
us.
10 feet.
When they come here, there won't be time for questions and answers. They'll come to kill. For God's sakes, Robert, let me go. Oh, Robert,
They were
please.
back in the day. They really liked this physical struggle stuff, huh?
Please. Oh, Robert.
Tomorrow, Ruth. Tomorrow will be all right.
Robert, no.
This guy hasn't been drinking his warm water. Classic trope, woman crying, mild hysteria.
But it will. I've already checked it under the microscope. Wait, I'll show you.
Look at his like meticulous hair care. While she's like all like cosmetically disheveled the whole time. This guy's definitely she could take a number from him as a non-human night dweller. They tend not to have as good hygiene as you can see here.
Ruth, just take a look at this.
Oh, why don't you take a look at this?
Ruth, there's no change.
It's
Double check.
it's germs.
Ruth. Ruth.
Robert.
Ruth. Get away from her.
Go Vincent, man. Time to shine. Let's get an old school movie, fisticuffs. Put up your dukes. Vampire man.
Run, Robert! Robert, run! Robert, run! They've come to kill you, Robert.
Does he get shot by the soldiers like the main guy from Night of the Living Dead, I wonder? Oh, hell yeah.
Run!
That was like DVD scream sound effects there. Or those humans. Oh, but see, he could cure him now. Okay, I see the tragedy here. The most real death scene by bullet in movie.
There he is.
Wait! You don't understand, wait!
Get him! Get him!
If they shoot him, dude, Night of the Living Dead is looking incrementally less and less original as we go on here. Honestly.
Round the block! Move! Move!
This guy would be a great DVD survivor, dude. How about Vincent Price from The Last Man on Earth? I've never heard that DVD license ever recommended by anybody. Dude, I would main. To hell with Leon, to hell with Lara, to hell with Alucard, to hell with Alucard. And my channel name is Alucard Bats. You're gonna have to rename me to Vincent Bats. Which actually kind of makes sense. You know, Vincent's a vampire from good old Final Fantasy VII. No, man, I would main. What's this guy's name? Robert. Robert from Last Man on Earth. And make his graphics on the game DVD, make them all black and white, like with the same textures. What's his perks?
Stand back.
What's Robert from Last Man on Earth? What's his perks? Let's see. Bush Tech. When crouching into a bush, become auras cannot see you. They would never make that perk, by the way. Oh, dude. He's got his own flashbang, dude. It's like a cross between Flashbang and Champion of Light by Alan Wake. Come on, guys. We got Alan Wake in DVD. We can't have Robert from Last Man on Earth. Vincent Price. It is supposed to be Museum of Horror. So why can't we get some of that, you know, museum-aged licenses? Am I right or am I wrong? You're not wrong, Alucard Bats. You're just an asshole. Oh! You know, I actually saw real-life footage of someone getting shot outside of the building where the door looked a lot like this. He had some hostage, and the people didn't care that he had a hostage. He just started firing. Some third world country, some nightmare to live in area of the world, where the cops don't have, you know, they don't have a constitution that looks after people's rights. Well, I mean, you know, what country does? They're getting clam baked. That 1960s clam baked. Got a nice big church. That's pretty sad, man. He was really close to the cure. Dude, you guys ever watch that old show Monsters? There was some weird green, like some cross between Gumby and like green jello with like the shape of like Grimace from McDonald's alien that accidentally diseased us. And then when it almost found a cure, it was killed. Oh my god, it's Last Man on Earth. This movie is actually really I would say
Freaks.
inspired a lot of people.
All of you freaks. Mutations.
Oh. They should have gave him more like a monologue there. Other than you freaks. What? I'm not I'm not an animal. I'm a human being. Yeah, dog.
They were afraid of me.
You could see that.
They were afraid of me. I didn't know.
Fear creates anger. Anger creates violence. Violence creates suffering. All this music, dude. Tragedy. Well, at least there's people to enjoy what's left of the earth. I mean, there's survivors. And you could say, oh, they're not humans. They're like some kind
There's
of
nothing to cry about. We're all safe.
vampire people. Yeah, but you know.
All safe.
Imagine a world where chimpanzees were all extinct. Well, there's humans. You know, things evolve, things go extinct. That's like, there you have it. All right, we got one more notch in our belt for classic movies. I made sure that one was public domain. This was a lot of fun. Talked about the health giving properties of warm water. Will make you smile a lot like Christoph Waltz here from Inglourious Basterds. This Nazi smiling, the smile reminds me a lot of the CEO from DoorDash smile, you know? Things are good when you're in charge, right? Okay. And then we did warm water. We did 4 easy payments on your Jill sandwich. And we did a classic movie. I think we're actually going to cut it off. I was thinking about doing a Resident Evil 7 snail run. I think I'll save it for next time. This has been a pretty good stream. Okay.